glad to have you all here. Thank you so much for coming. I'll tell you what, this presentation is my absolute favorite presentation of all to give. I love giving it. All right. Why? Because it's fun and you'll learn stuff. All right, and it teaches you to think in completely different ways. All right. So usually when I give Branding 101, anybody know what the Tennessee Small Business Development Center is over at the College of Business? If you don't know what they are, they basically help small businesses, right? So as a part of service to them through the college, I actually give presentations for them. This one is the one that I give the most often. I enjoy it a lot because usually it's things that people haven't thought of. There's two things in business that people don't really think about a lot: branding and contingency planning. I want to personally invite you all to our contingency planning pop-up on March 1st, which we will have. So we will learn about how to think about things that usually people don't, like how can we plan for a tornado, or how can we plan for a disaster, or something like that. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. So anyhow, we're going to talk about branding today. And like I said, this is my absolute favorite one to give. Okay, so we have a lot of fun. Now, there's a lot of content. Will we get through all of it? I don't know. I'm going to try. But there's a lot of content here. And normally, when I create a presentation, I usually only put little bullet points out, right? So this one has a lot of content on it. So usually I would not put that much content on it, but I purposely do it because when we get done talking, I'm going to make this available to you all. So I tried to put a little bit more in the bullet points so that you would understand after the fact what we were talking about. Okay. So with that said, branding. What is this presentation about? This is about building a brand. Okay. It is not what best colors to use, what logos to use, what strategies to use, all of that. It's none of that. It's about building a brand. Okay. This presentation is intentionally designed to leave you with more questions than answers. Why in the world would I attend a presentation that leaves me with more questions than answers? You'll see here in just a little bit. A lot of these things, only you can tell yourself what it is that is going to be right for your brand. So, let's go to the next slide. Now, branding is not a logo. It's part of it, but it's not a logo. Whose logo is that?
Nike.
How do you know that? It doesn't say Nike. Because it's the Nike logo. How? Because branding. That's why. This next slide. A brand is not an identity, nor is it a package. Whose bottle is that? Blasphemy. You get out and you get out now. That was a good one. Whose bottle is that? How do you know that? Because branding, exactly. Because it's an iconic packaging. But that is only part of the story. It's not Coca-Cola's entire brand, but it is their package. Okay, let's go to the next one. A brand is not a product or service. What burger is that?
Big Mac.
Exactly. It's not a Whopper, right? It's a Big Mac. How do you know? You like them? I like them a lot, actually. I had one yesterday. It was good. I smashed it all in my face. Wonderful. But they know that that's a Big Mac. Okay. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. A brand is not a mission or vision. Y'all come on in. I'm glad to see everybody here. A brand is not a mission or a vision. Who knows what a mission is? Fix your bag. Who knows what a mission is? What is mission?
Mission is like what the company stands for.
Right.
And like their beliefs, what they're trying to obtain.
Right. Actually, that's the vision.
Well,
But
I thought
you
the
could
vision
swap it
was
out.
more so like for the future.
Yeah.
The mission is present.
Well, that is, you're absolutely right. It is debatable. It's what do you want to do and how you want to get there, and that's what you said. But branding is not a mission or a vision, right? Do you agree or disagree? I see something there. Tell me about it. What you got on that brain?
Oh, no comment.
No comment? Okay. But branding is not the mission or vision, all right? It's a very, would you agree that it's a very vital aspect of it?
Yeah.
Okay. But it's not the whole brand, right?
Correct.
Let's go to the next slide. A brand is not your promotions and marketing. Marketing students, what are the 4 Ps?
Promotion, price, place, and product.
Exactly. It's an important part of it, right? I mean, this is a part of your brand, but it's certainly not the brand itself, all right? So Walmart, they compete on price, right? Is that their brand? Not exactly. What would be the Walmart brand, do you think?
Great value.
They say great value.
Now, you're laughing at that. Do you have a different opinion? I hope you do.
Me, both. I'm not sure what exactly their brand is.
Oh, we're getting to that.
Oh,
We're getting to that. But when we say Walmart, what do you think? Like they say great value, and you're like, I don't know about that.
I think Walmart. I just hear. I just think superstore, like mega store. You can get everything you need
Right.
like in one place.
Right.
Like that's who they are.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
Okay.
Which
Nothing
for
wrong.
some people.
Yeah,
For some people.
For some people.
For some people.
Because of that.
We're all open in here. There are no dumb opinions, except the ones that are dumb, and I'll let you know if they are. I'm just kidding. But it's important to know, and this is where a lot of people get confused on brand. They think that it is our marketing mix. It's not. It's important, but it's not the brand. A brand is not catchy advertising. What is going on in this picture? What is that?
The
The school bus. What does that bus do? It doesn't come and pick up the kids. It drops them off, but it doesn't pick them up. What in the world? What is that? What are we looking at here? Yeah, they go and suck out septic tanks. I get to have one of those come out to my house in the next week or two. I'm thrilled about it. But look at that though, school bus. What does it look like? It's a play on words, right? What are we looking at?
Yes, like almost like a yellow school.
Yeah, like a yellow school bus, exactly. It's play on words, school bus, right? It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant if you think about it. In Cookeville, there are numerous septic sucking companies. I don't even know what you call it. They come and clean out your septic system. Name one in Cookeville.
$4 taxi.
The $4 taxi.
Yeah.
Awesome. I hadn't even seen that one. Remember that. Write that down for me. What else? Name some other ones. Anybody? Anybody at all? There's numerous ones out there. There's Bucks. There's what did you call it? $4 taxi.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. So it's the same thing that we're talking about here. Now this is catchy advertising. All right. This is not from Cookeville, obviously because of the number. But think about this for a little. Why is this absolutely genius? Not for branding, but for marketing. Are you going to remember that? Yeah, exactly. It is absolutely genius, and it conjures up all these funny images. It's a way to deal with a taboo subject, right? But here's the thing. It may be awesome for you and me because we remember it, we think it's kind of funny. If I've got to have this thing out in my yard all day long, it at least should make me laugh, right? But think about that for a minute. Think about what's going on there. How about that make somebody else feel? My mother might not want the school bus showing up in her yard. Would you want the school bus showing up, or would you want something else? What do you think? Again, there's no right or wrong answer. What do you think?
You might want it to be low profile.
Yeah, you might want it to be low profile, exactly.
That's not.
Trust me, I've been through that once before, and when I was younger, and there is no low profile, period, for that bus to come out. Have you had to have that done, Rob?
No, but we live far enough out where we have septic, so I mean it will be in reason.
Yeah.
Hopefully never.
Yeah. I got my shower.
Just me being older and having young children, I wouldn't want that in my yard though, because we don't talk like that in my house.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right, exactly.
It's fun. I'm laughing at it
Right,
now, but like,
right. But when you're in your household, that's a whole different thing,
No.
right? So it may be good for some people, it may be bad for others, but that is okay, and I'm really glad that you brought that up. Thank you. That's the point that I'm trying to make. It may be good, it may be bad. It doesn't matter whether it is. It's all about your target marketing students. But that is not the brand. The school bus is not the brand, right? Do we know anything about their reputation? We can assume that they're kind of funny people, and they'll make light of a crappy situation. Pun completely intended. Please laugh. Thank you. But it's not their brand. All right, so let's go to the next slide. What is it? A brand is a feeling. It's nothing more than that. A brand is a feeling. How does this business or company or organization make you feel? Not to sound like a psychologist here, but how does it make you feel? That is what the brand is. Everything that we've talked about, mission, vision, marketing, all that, those are ways to convey your message and about your brand. But the brand itself is a mix of everything, but it's a higher order, okay? It's all about how do you feel? What are the associations that you put in your mind with this business? All right, let's go to the next one. So, more specifically stated, a brand is the emotional response that a business evokes in a customer. Marketing, advertising, packaging, all that, again, those are ways to convey, grow, and maintain your brand. We'll want to think about maintain as well. We'll come back to that here in a little bit. But again, all that stuff together, even added up, is not the brand. The brand is the feeling. And these are ways that you convey, grow, and maintain. All right, let's go next. So again, just a little bit of a review here. Not the best slide, doesn't look great on this TV. I'll fix that. But value, vision, personality, attributes, benefits, positioning, those all make your brand. All right, so do y'all know what value is, right? We talked about Walmart a little while ago. We say it's a great value, right? What about the vision? So we talked about the vision. Tell me what the vision is.
It's like goals for the future.
Right. How are you going to get there, right? Personality. Do businesses have a personality? Some of them do. The ones that have a brand do. What's a personality from a business that you can think of? Anybody, doesn't matter. It can be anything.
Well, the picture we just saw, they were pretty humorous.
They were pretty humorous, exactly. I would say that the Stool Bus has a personality. What about attributes? What are attributes? Can you define attributes? Anybody? So I just happened to look at you. What are attributes? What are attributes, Jacqueline? It's very simple.
Like certain things that make up.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it is. It's your attributes. Not to define a word with the actual word in it, but it's what makes you you. It's your attributes. All right. Benefits. I don't know what benefits are. What benefits? What is a company that gives you a lot of benefits? Close. What I mean in this particular case is what are the benefits that I get out of by consuming a product or service from a particular business or organization? Like,
whatever you buy, you go to a store.
exactly. You feel like that you have gotten a good deal. Or you could take it up to another level. You could say, maybe a nonprofit, gives a lot of people, benefits. Like, the local housing thing that we have, right? HUD. That they're an organization too. They're a brand. We need to think about, a lot of people, usually when we talk, what I find is that when I give this presentation, most people think, okay, well this is we've got only a brand can be, attributed to somebody that's got a product or maybe a service like the Stool Bus. But this goes for everything. This goes for government. This goes for nonprofit. This even goes to yourself. How many of you all have been to any of the personal branding seminars that the Student to Career program puts on? Any college business folks? I've seen a lot of I don't knows there. So that sounds like we are not doing our job appropriately, so we'll talk about that. So this is going great. We have a lot of seminars with the Student to Career program in college business that allows us to learn how to personally brand ourselves. So not only can a business be a brand, you yourself are also a brand. So what are the benefits that you give to your employer? What is the vision that you have for yourself as a student, right? What are the attributes that you're going to be able to align your personal values, your core goals? We ourselves are a personal brand, all right? Let's go to the next slide. So, like we said, a brand is the emotional response. It's a feeling. It's not a product, it's not a service, none of that. So let's have a review. So we all knew that this was Nike's logo, right? But what does that actually mean? What does the brand Nike mean to you? Tell me, just shout it out. What does Nike mean to you?
Sports.
Sports, okay. Well, more so than sports. Good sports, bad sports, stupid sports.
Good.
Good sports.
Yep.
We're gonna put on a pair of Nike shoes. We're gonna jump higher. Maybe they're gonna be more comfortable.
Higher,
They're
run
not.
faster.
Okay, but maybe not, right? Maybe I'm an Adidas guy and I can't stand Nike. So it means a whole different thing to me, right?
Yeah.
All right. What else does Nike mean to you all?
Sweatshops.
Sweatshops. Okay. Interesting. So what do you mean by that? So you see that Nike logo, you associate them with sweatshops, right? So you may be prone not to buy them. Is that correct? Or maybe you will buy them, but you just know that you're supporting the sweatshop and, oh well, I didn't have to meet the kids, so it's cool. I got my kicks and, whatever. All right, what else does Nike mean to anybody?
Just do it.
Just do it. Well, what does that mean?
Like
Confidence.
confidence. And then you have Nike products that you feel more comfortable.
It, maybe you do. Brand is a feeling. That's the main thing that y'all need to get out of this today. Is a brand is a feeling. Hey, Corey, good to see you. Let's try another one. What does that mean? How does that make you feel? Oh yeah. Everyone that I've done, everybody does that. Think about when last time we went to the movies. I'm assuming that they still do this, but you go to the Highland 12, and then it comes on and they fill up the Coke, and you see the ice and everything, and then they take a sip, and then they go, oh man, I want one right now. I love Coke. I hate Pepsi. I love Coke. Why? Why? Because it makes me feel good. It also gives me a little bit of energy. It's a reward for me. Sometimes I drink it in the morning. I don't drink coffee. Sometimes I'll drink it in the morning to kind of wake up. Usually try not to do that, but I do. But usually what I do is I use it as a reward. I get to, I finally get to lunch. I go down to McDonald's, I get my Big Mac, get my big old Coke, take that big first sip, and it burns. It's so good, right? Ooh, man, I love Coke. I love Coke. How many of y'all want a Coke right now just because we're talking about it? Thank you very much. It's not the product, it's the way it makes you feel. Yeah, I love the product itself. I love all the attributes and everything of the product, but it's what it is that makes me really feel. I know in my mind, I've got that position as a reward. I know what I'm going to get out of it. I know that they're consistent as well. Every Coke tastes the exact same. And that's something really important. McDonald's does a good job of that too. But I know what I'm getting into, so that's my personal feelings. Anybody not like Coke or Coke-related products? Okay, what? Tell me. You like Sprite, okay? But you know what? Sprite and Coke, they're made by the same people.
Yeah, but
Okay, and that's fine, But that's the product, right? It's not the brand. How do you feel about the brand Sprite itself? I just love Sprite, and that's all that matters. All right.
It makes me happy.
It makes you happy, and that's what matters to you. Let's go ahead. Okay, here we are again. Y'all know my personal feelings on it. I'm seeing some shaking heads right here. Tell me, what's your feeling on that delicious Big Mac that you've got in front of you? It looks processed, all right? That doesn't align up. Maybe that doesn't align with your values. You want non-processed meat, is that correct? All right. Is there another burger that you like, or do you like burgers at all?
I would eat a Whopper before that.
You would eat a Whopper before that,
Sorry.
with the fake smoke in there. Are you kidding me?
They just lying to you.
I'm just messing. I will tell you though, Burger King used to have the best fries on the market, and now that they've changed them, I don't like them anymore. Does anybody disagree? Do you like
I
them?
agree.
You like them because they're more potatoey, or
No,
you
they were so much better before. And then I just went to Burger King and I was like, what's happened?
Yeah, why did they
My life
change
has
that?
changed.
So that changed your feeling and perception on Burger King, is that correct?
Yeah.
Just by one of their fries. The brand is not the fries, but it's a way that we're conveying the brand, right? Why would you do this to me? How did you feel when they did that? Did you feel betrayed? I felt betrayed.
They changed their fries. They took away chicken fries. At least they brought chicken
At
fries
least they brought,
back.
yeah, that is true.
But, everything changed. Like, my whole world was upside down.
Yeah. So silly little examples, but it goes to illustrate the point that people do make and do associate feelings with the brand. Okay, so let's do one more. Who is that?
Jordan.
That's Jordan. How old are you all? What's the average age in this room?
20.
20.
DJ Kendrick.
Y'all didn't even see Jordan play. How do you know that? Y'all were like 4.
I don't know.
What do you remember? So you remember?
I remember everything about Jordan. I like like the way he just floated down
Yeah.
the court.
Well, he sure did. Did you get to see it live?
Did I get to see it live?
But you remember, exactly.
I remember
The guy doesn't play basketball in 15 years, and we know exactly who he is.
I remember from the Wizards, not that.
That's a whole different story.
Exactly.
Now, you remember.
Yeah, and I might add, like, what they would have, if any of them remember him playing,
Mhm.
that's not really him.
Nope.
No.
Because he was my age then.
Yeah.
Oh,
Make you super jealous, guys. My mom was his water girl, apparently.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I got to see him play. I don't like basketball.
You got to touch him? You got to touch him.
Football's my sport. I don't like basketball. You know what? I watched basketball when Jordan was playing. I loved watching. I got to see the championships. I got to see the double pump. I got to see all of that. Like, he was absolutely amazing. He is so amazing that we still associate with him with basketball and put his logo on shoes. But you know what? There's a lot of other guys out there that have shoes with their logos on it. Are they that iconic? Are the Iversons logo? What does that even look like?
It's like a 3. I like it.
Okay, well that's good. That's good. But anybody else in this room? What are some other basketball shoes that have logos other than Jordan? And who's that? Okay. What does it look like? All right. So, all right. How does that compare to the original? You know, he was the one that started all of this. The man made 100 times more off the court than he ever did on the court. He made $90 million playing, so don't let me, I mean, he made a lot of money, but through his licensing, he started, that is a brand. That is a personal brand. That is a shoe brand. It really kickstarted Nike and what they're doing. Obviously, Nike was a behemoth before, but they changed the game. All right, so when I was growing up and I was watching Jordan, it was a fashion statement to have the Jordan logo. Still is, right? He's got all his lines. He's got even like non-basketball shoes, right? But I'll tell you what, when I was growing up, you had to have those next pair of Jordans or you were nothing. We're probably up to what, Jordan 65s now or something like that. But I got to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is my personal favorite. It's when they 6 was when they came out with barrel locks, I think. Or was that 5s? They were like, I don't know, I wasn't born yet. Doesn't matter. The point being is, not only was it a basketball shoe aimed at people to play basketball, they completely changed the game. They made a brand out of him right there. People that don't, I never played basketball, but you know what? I wanted those shoes. I wanted those shoes bad. So anyhow, anybody other comments on Jordan? I just think it's really amazing that he's been able to stand the test of time. I mean, he's the man. All right, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so now, people often make decisions based on feelings instead of logic. Is this a bad thing? No. Is it a true thing? Yes. What'd you say?
I said somewhat.
Somewhat, right. Sometimes we make rational decisions, but sometimes people make decisions based on feelings instead of logic. So how many times have you bought something based on the way it made you feel? All right, ladies, how many times did y'all buy that pair of shoes? Of course, I'm in this category too, but how many times did y'all buy that pair of shoes just for that one outfit or that bag, right? Big hand up over here. How did it make you feel, right? You can't come with those old ratty shoes, all worn out, all creased and dusty. You can't have that. This is not the black that makes the black top. That's just it. That's ludicrous. Why would I even begin to wear that, right? Now, did you buy that based on the brand itself, or did you buy it because of the way that you like the shoe?
The way I like, now the way I like the shoe.
Uh-huh.
It used to be just because of the brand.
Used to be just because of the
But
brand.
now I get stuff because I like stuff now, not because it's me.
I understand. It's a good progression. What's your name?
Whitney.
Whitney. Who else bought something recently that they bought on a whim or based on a feeling? You bought some hot wings? You make you feel good?
Yep.
What kind of hot wings? Okay. Now, did you buy them because they were Pizza Hut, or did you because?
I bought them because they were the best hot wings.
Because they're the best. All right, Brandon, right there. They're the best hot wings. Right? What makes them the best hot wings? Now, it's personal preference, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, how did you feel before? You know they're the best hot wings. How did you feel after the fact? They're good. They made you feel good. You're going to have that again, right?
Yep.
So how would you say that you feel about the brand now? You feel good about it. All right. Let's give another example. What was the last thing that y'all bought on a feeling?
I gotta fight the hot wings.
Oh
I've had
my
some hot
gosh.
wings from Char.
Pretty good,
Like it
Yeah.
got like a smoked flavor
right?
to it. So I challenge you to go to Char.
I already ate those when they came here, they weren't that good.
Uh-huh.
Wing shoes, yeah.
See what's happening?
That was in the past though.
Mm.
See?
Mhm.
I ate those, they came to take.
Right.
They were gross.
Right,
Wing street is very gross.
right.
I know you can.
Look at what's going on right now. Usually this comes in the truck conversation, but we'll go ahead and go into it. Look what's going on. Y'all feel passionate about it, right? Brand is a feeling. Sometimes it's hard to articulate. Sometimes it's hard to really tack down what it is that makes me feel this way about the brand. Other times, like Whitney, doesn't matter. You know what? I just bought the shoes. I don't care what company it is. Who cares? Who cares what it is? They look good.
I mean,
Look
I
at me.
care.
Look at me. Right? You care, but it's your values are aligned a little bit differently, right? How many pairs of shoes you own?
I don't really know.
Don't go there, huh?
It's just
Okay.
a
I'll tell you what, I am a shoe holic. I love shoes a lot. I'll make that point here in just a little bit, but yeah, shoes are a good thing. I probably got my 14th pair right now. Let's go to the next slide. Actually, go back real quick. So we want to evoke passion before and after the sale. Hot wings, Pizza Hut, they're never bad, they're the best. Why would you just stop? Why would you even go there, right? Passion before and after the sale. So that's going to start getting a little bit of our marketing principles back into us, all right? So maybe they buy a product, maybe if you went and bought a product, maybe what would happen if the wings weren't good one night? You would be disappointed. Would you go back again?
Nope, I would want my money back.
You would want to, yeah, you'd want to give them another shot, right? But maybe not,
At
okay?
the very, you gotta pay it, if you see that, maybe.
Okay, so one time, and you're done. Your whole life has changed. They changed those Burger King fries. I'm not going back to Burger King, screw those fries. Gross. Why would you do that to me? I'm betrayed, King. Standing over there with your $1.49 10-piece nuggets. Passion before and after the sale. Really, really important. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Let's talk about that. All right, so truck drivers. Who's in here? Who's with me? Any truck drivers? What do you drive?
Ford.
You drive a Ford. You drive F-150?
Yeah.
That really sucks for him because Ford's.
Well, in my defense, I wanna, when I get rich, buy a brand new Cummins 2500.
Yeah, Ram,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So that, the Power Wagon, I don't know.
Yeah, well, you know,
Depends on that.
really kind of depends. So you didn't really play into what I'd hoped, because usually what happens is I start out with, I'll say, all right, where are my Ford F-150 drivers, right? And then I'll go on this kind of tirade and basically say, you know, I'll ask them, you know, what logo is this right here? Do y'all know what that is? It's the Ram logo, right? So I'm a Ram driver, and I talk about it, I'm like, you know, how does it make you feel when you're found on the roadside dead, and the Ram has to come and tow you? It feels pretty bad, it burns, right? Usually that gets a fight started pretty much, because truck drivers are passionate about their vehicle. Think about most of the recent truck commercials that you've seen. What are they? What does a truck commercial generally consist of, other than the new Ram make you want to cry ones? But usually
wood chopping,
manly stuff, testosterone crystallizing everywhere.
Yep.
If you drive everything else, then you're gonna break down. People are gonna laugh at you. People are gonna point and be like, "Why are you in that Tacoma? My gosh." Am I wrong?
Well, they had that.
Am I wrong? Driving an old Japanese truck. What do the Japanese know about trucks? Right?
Same thing we know about cars.
I'm just kidding. Toyota makes a fantastic truck. That's the point I'm trying to make. People
Bad
get
Tundra,
passionate
good
about it.
Tacoma.
Huh?
Bad Tundra, good Tacoma.
A bad.
Bad Tundra.
Oh, okay, gotcha. But here's the point. Think about their advertising. Now, advertising is not the brand. We know that. It's the feeling. But what are they trying to convey to you about their truck?
That big, strong man drive this truck.
Exactly. You are not a man unless you drive this truck. You drive anything else? Right? Passion. And I will tell you, usually, like I said earlier, usually those F-150 drivers, they will pretty much get in a brawl, and I'll point out, look at what's going on here. Yes. What's your name? Makia.
Have you seen the Prius commercial with the Mac driver?
I haven't. Let's put this on pause for a moment. What do y'all think about the Prius commercial with the bank robbers?
That's the dumbest thing ever.
The dumbest thing ever. Okay.
Priuses are always
Yeah, right. What do you all think about Priuses in general? Or Prii, I don't know what the plural of. What do you think though? And what talk this through. What's our perception of Prius? Little baby car, look at you driving your little baby car. Trying to save the planet and stuff. What a good citizen you are. What do you think about Prius? You drive a truck.
It's only good to get somewhere A to B, that's it.
Okay.
So, I mean, old person
All
car,
right.
really.
But what are they trying to convey? All right. So it sounds like we generally have maybe not a negative opinion of the Prius, but maybe not. It's the coolest, the most awesome. Like I'm going to be going fast. What do we think, right? You can. So what are they trying to do? What are they doing? What are they trying to convey with their marketing and advertising? They're trying to change public perception. Whether or not they're doing it right, I don't know. But the point is they're trying to change that perception that you, yes, can go fast in a Prius. Just happens to be that your personality is not going to allow you to do that, but you can do it should you want to. Any Prius drivers in here? Am I defending anybody? Okay, good. I thought you were going to mention it.
Oh.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and good for you for driving a hybrid.
They have a much better technology than this.
Okay, there you go. So you, what kind of hybrid?
Watch out.
A Civic, okay. Toyota Camry hybrid is actually proven to be faster and more strong than the regular Camry engine can talk. So anyhow, here's the point. They're trying to change perceptions about their brand, right? What is trust? What does trust mean to you all?
That every time I get something from this place or person or anything,
Right.
that it's gonna be the same way each time.
Exactly, consistency. You trust them, all right? Does trust mean anything different to anybody? Dependability, right. Trust is simple. Trust is reliability plus delight. Nothing more than that. Trust is essential in building a brand. Your wings, reliability. Every time it tastes good, you get delight out of it, right? Trust equals reliability plus delight. If you can, when you're working on building your brand, if you can remember that simple equation, that'll get you halfway there, okay? You gotta build up trust. Trust is a what? A feeling, right? Can you define trust? I mean, we know what it is, but trust, okay? No, I just, maybe if we could just turn that off. Oh, is it over there? Yeah, just shut the door. Okay, got it. I forget that we got a makerspace over there because I work in there every day. But people should believe there is no alternative to your brand. So truck market, perfect example, right? What are some other things that you will only consume from that particular brand and nothing else? Mine is Coke. Is there anybody else that's got anything that you trust so much that you're not going to venture out anywhere else?
Subway cookies.
Subway cookies. How come?
Because they're so good.
Because you have trust in them. And trust is what? Reliability. They're good all the time. Plus delight. You get delight out of them. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so it's very important that you must define your brand or others will. We live in an amazing age right now, social media, right? People get out there and talk about you. You got to focus on your brand, your message, and your values, or people are going to define those for you. They're going to attempt to do that anyways, all right? But it's really important that you focus on what you have to say, and the people that get it will. Marketing will get you there, but you've got to build trust. You've got to commit to your core values. If you don't have core values, and I'm talking personal, business, whatever, if you don't have core values, what do you have? Nothing. You got to commit to those core values. So if you don't have your own values, if you don't know how to articulate that to anybody else, or that you don't even, how are you going to build up trust if you don't have those core values? It's also really important to organize your messages, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. So I'll leave that for a moment. You got to convert your customers to loyalists and evangelists. Again, you've got to convert your customers to loyalists and evangelists. What does that even mean? What is an evangelist? And I'm not talking about, but I could be. Is that a brand? Right? What is an evangelist? Somebody that's going to go out there and tell the world about how good your product is. What have I done so far in this presentation? I've told you about how Coke is awesome, Big Macs are awesome, Jordan shoes are awesome. I've already told you about that. I feel passionately about those things. You've got to convert your customers to loyalists and evangelists. That's your mission. Eagle Works, tip. You got to do that for these judges. How are we going to get there? I'll tell you here in just a minute. Give you some unsolicited advice. Go ahead. You've got to make your customers so happy that they can't help but spread the word. I love Coke. I want all of you all to know how awesome Coke is. How are we going to spread that word? How are people going to do it? Now, how do we even do this? Let's think about Apple. All right, so Apple, not just a product, they're a series of products, right? In many cases, their products, how many people have Apple products? All right, you know where I'm going. In many cases, their products are actually inferior to other companies. It's a scientific fact. We'll be objective about that in a moment. I'll be super subjective here in a minute. But you know it's true. Many times their products are inferior to other companies. Does that matter? Phones are so fast these day and age. We've got, what, 8 cores in phones? You know how many cores you use on a phone usually? That's a core. You don't use a lot of it. Exactly. See, I get a lot of blank faces. Who cares if you have 8 cores in there? If the iPhone only has 4, but my Android has 8, what does it matter? Other than like somebody that's their values are all about, well, I've got to have the latest, greatest, the fastest, whatever. You're never going to use all those cores. Maybe 1 or 2 turn on. It doesn't matter what it means. It's 8 versus 4. It's completely lost on you all. So does it really matter? Why do you, what's your name?
Marquise.
Marquise. Marquise, why do you use Apple products?
I just like the way they feel.
Oh, you like the way they feel?
Yeah, and then I like that the messages are blue. Like, I don't like
Okay.
green messages.
Okay.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Okay.
Texting somebody
Mhm.
that has an Android, it turns the messages green.
Right.
And it like scratches. It's like scratches on chalkboard.
Okay. That is very important for Marquise. It's Marquise, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm terrible.
Good.
So, who else uses Apple products in here? Who have I not called on? Ashley, why do you use Apple products?
I use Apple products because I like that they're synchronized across everything.
Okay, so you're in their ecosystem,
Yes.
right? You know what you're getting. You trust them. They're reliable. Do you get the light out of them?
Yeah, I do. I don't have as many issues than when I had like a PC computer.
Their products are a fashion statement. Does anybody disagree with that? They are a fashion statement. Just because they're a fashion statement doesn't mean that it's bad, right? It just means that it's a fashion statement. People are going to use them. Just because they're not the most technically superior compared to others, does that really matter, right? So as soon as you start talking Apple, all right, people have several different reactions. I said Apple, right? What everybody did, like, oh man, he's about to destroy Apple, right? Now we're talking about converting your customers to loyalists and evangelists. Who knows what a fanboy is? Or a fangirl? What's a fanboy? Apple fanboy.
Like, when I hear fanboy, fangirl, it's usually somebody who like is so obsessed with
Right.
something or a group or anything. Like
Right.
That it's just the only thing they think about.
That's
what they want to
it.
talk about.
That's it. Exactly. They will not hear any other side other than, we'll use the Apple example. Let's go to the next slide. You want to create fanboys for your brand and fangirls. How do you spot a fanboy if you've never seen a fanboy? Well, overall defensive demeanor. I'm just messing with y'all here. Shaking the fist to the non-believers. My absolute favorite one, empty wallet. But people will continue to buy Apple products because of the way that they make them feel, whether it be they actually, in some cases, are technically superior. Or maybe they feel better in your hand. Maybe they turn blue instead of green, even though you can change that, but that's okay, you know? But That's the point. You want to convert your customers to loyalists and evangelists. How can you make fanboys of your own brand? Now, I told you that this presentation is going to leave you with more questions than answers. There is no way that I can tell you how to do that. That is up to each and individual, untied again. It is up to you. Only you can tell us that. Eagle Works. How are you going to tell that to the judges? Critical. If you do not understand your brand, there's really no need in competing. That's a little bit exaggerated, but you've got to understand that, okay? Let's go to the next one. All right, so continuing to talk about converting to evangelists. Think about the Apple Watch. All right, so this slide is actually a year old, and I was looking at it last night, trying to decide whether I wanted to keep it in or not. And ultimately, I decided to keep it in. So let's think about the Apple Watch. Anybody have an Apple Watch? Anybody have an Android watch? All right, you do.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a Pebble. And Seth over there, who is hiding, has an Apple Watch.
Oh, you do have an Apple Watch. Why didn't you raise your hand, fanboy?
See, I didn't actually purchase this though.
But you're wearing it.
Yeah.
Are you wearing it because you have to? Is your girlfriend in here and she bought it for you? And
No, actually, my mother got it. She
Your
decided
brother-
she didn't
okay,
like
gotcha.
it, and it sat on the counter. So.
I'm just messing with you.
Oh, so that's what you refer to her as?
Huh?
That's her name? That's what you call her?
My mother? Yeah.
Not sure where this is going.
I don't know.
I'll take it as he calls his girlfriend his mother.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Interesting.
No, I would never pay $300 for a watch.
Why not?
I don't wear watches.
Can you see this thing?
You don't
And I
like
had
it?
to force myself to wear that one.
Do you not like Sell it again.
It's telling me the time. And, well, I got to enter a passcode. Anyhow, this is the Apple Watch. All right. So it sounds like most of us don't have one. So I'm going to talk. This is actually good. Its battery won't last a whole day, will it?
That's false.
Okay. Tell me about that. Have they changed that?
I mean, I don't know. This is the first version. So, I mean, it'll last almost 2 days.
Almost do it. That's a good thing. When they first came out, when I created this slide, they wouldn't last a whole day. All right, so they've gone and probably optimized
I guess
that.
it depends
And
on how much
that-
you're like looking at it.
Yeah. Well, how much do you use it as a watch, or are you actually using it like for text messages? And
Yeah.
all
I mean,
that
I
stuff?
don't reply to people with it. But
Right.
I'll like.
But you'll
I'll
look at it and
the
stuff. When they first came out, the point being, when they first came out, battery wouldn't last for half a day. What on earth would you want to wear a watch that doesn't last half a day? Or, okay, you know what? Expand that out a little bit. You wear a watch that only lasts 2 days on battery. I've wound mine up, and it's been running for 6 months. Yours only lasts for 2 days, right? No, he's not the best example, but you get the point. It's crazy expensive. How much did that thing cost?
I think they retail for like $300.
For like $300. Gosh, that's a lot. But is it? Is it really? I mean, once you get up into the, once you're wearing like jewelry and fine fashion and all that, is $300 actually a lot for a watch? Is $300 a lot for any article of clothing for you all, or accessory?
Yes.
It is. Okay, so at this stage in your life, you would probably not pay $300 for a watch, right? Is there anybody that would disagree with that? Anybody that would pay $300 for a watch? You would? Whitney would? All right, tell me about that, Whitney. Why would you do that?
Because I want it.
Because you want it. Because why? Because it makes you feel a certain way about yourself. You know you walked up in there and you got those $300 Lenovo business on. You know what it is. Maybe not everybody else in the world does, but you know what it is. It's a feeling. Branding is a feeling. The media cannot get enough of the Apple Watch. What are some of the other watch names? You said you've got an Android watch. You've got
I have
what?
a Pebble.
You have a Pebble. What is a Pebble?
A Pebble is a smartwatch. Pebble actually invented the first round smartwatch, which is what I'm currently saving up for because I'm a poor college kid. But like my Pebble, like I get text message notifications, like it counts how many steps I take in a day. It does like everything like a Fitbit and an Apple Watch do together. And because I have an iPhone, I can't reply to text messages, but if you have an Android, you can like voice reply with your Pebble. You can like pre-program shortcuts to reply. Like it's a really good watch and it's a lot cheaper. They're really cool. Go get one.
Evangelist. Let's move on. We're running out of time. So, differentiation and positioning. So, we're talking about Differentiation first. What is differentiation? How different you are. How different are you perceived? How different is this than the Pebble? It's an Apple, but how different is it? It's a watch, it has a touch screen, it tells you the time, it gives you text message. How different at its core function is it? Is it that different? But it is.
I'll show you mine.
What's different about it? It's the brand, right? How different are trucks? Who was my truck driver? How different? F-150, Ram, all that. It's a truck. They have a bed, you haul stuff, they're big. They suck gas like no others, but it's insane, right? It's a truck. How different is it really?
Well, F-150 is probably the best selling truck, so I'm gonna go, it's the best truck.
But why? Why?
Because they get the job done, they're able to do everything you want it to do.
That's your opinion, right?
Yeah.
That's your
And they
opinion.
build fleet trucks, so.
Okay, and they build fleet trucks. Guess what? Ram does too. How different is it really? What's the differentiating factor? It's the brand, exactly. That's another personal perception. How different are they? You view them, right? Your attributes are not your brand, right? But they add up to make the brand. So why do you have these feelings about Ford being better than all the rest?
Well, for an F-150, but if you get to the 2500 series, then it's a Dodge. Just depends on what you want.
Depends on what you want, right? A brand is nothing more than a feeling attached to a product. And that's what we're learning about today. So, how different are you perceived against your competitors? Again, how are you perceived as different? Now, when we talk about innovation, when you're creating something new, EagleWorks, it's an innovation entrepreneurship competition. You all are coming up with something completely new. Marketing students in general. You think about innovation, it's actually creating something new, right? We're not recreating the same thing, we're creating something new. But you may be in the same category, right? How are you going to change that perception of being different? And we'll talk about how to do that here in a minute. How innovative is your product or service? Really, you got to honestly ask yourself, Wes, how innovative is your product? How different is it? It's an app. How different is it though? If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine, because I understand y'all are getting close to the competition.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
It's a system.
It's a system, right? But how different is it? How is it going to make your customers feel when you release it? How are you going to rise above the noise?
Yeah, hopefully, like it stands out as being something that solves a frustration for
Yes.
you. So that's where I feel like our brand power is going to come in. Is how it really helps you. It's not about being like flash streaking.
So you're going to relieve frustration. What is frustration? Frustration is a feeling, right?
Yeah.
Now, humans are hardwired to notice what's different. Yeah, this is completely different than a Pebble, isn't it? Right? You could even have the same exact product, the same, what is this, Apple Watch? The same exact Apple Watch with a different band, and it's a physically different look. It's a different attribute, but it's all about the same brand. Humans are hardwired to notice what's different, whether that be a feeling, whether it be an attribute. People are going to notice what's different. Capitalize on that, literally. Blending in is not a strategy. What's the point of recreating the exact same thing? How many of y'all have gone through a research class? Okay, so tell me, who all raised your hand again? Wes, tell me, actually Justin, tell me what you learned in that research class. Now you're graduate level, right? So you're getting on up there, you're doing real research. What is the first thing that they teach you in research that you were not supposed to do? What is the whole point of research?
I don't know the exact answer to that, but the first thing they teach you is how to the right format for your audience.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, all right. What's the first concept? The point I'm trying to make is in research, what you are doing is you are committing new knowledge into the pool. You're not trying to rehash what's already been done. That's secondary research. You're going out, you do your literature review, you go out and you find what is already out there, and then you find the holes that you can fill that nobody's done yet. Or what can you capitalize on? The exact same thing applies to this. Blending in is not a strategy. Why are you going to recreate the same thing? What would be the point of that? But some businesses do. Is that bad? Is it good? I don't know. But for your case, specifically EagleWorks, I can tell you, if you cannot tell the judges why you are different and why you haven't blended in, you are not going to have a good time. Differentiation. What is positioning? Anybody know what positioning is? Basically your perception. I'll give you an example to determine what positioning is. Let's go to the next slide. So we want to think about this when we get to the exercise. How is your brand better than all the rest? All right? So let's go to the next slide and actually come back to the next one. Who makes the better vehicle? You got Mercedes-Benz and Ford. Who makes the better vehicle?
Overall, or one for one?
Mercedes-Benz. Either way, doesn't matter. You said Mercedes. Who else?
Well, Ford, you're talking about the GT.
Okay, Ford. If you're talking about the GT, but compared to the Maybach, right?
GT is faster.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends.
But I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I want comfort, right? So that doesn't matter to me.
Oh,
But
Maybach.
overall, the brand. What do you think? Who makes the better vehicle?
Depends
Why?
if-
Yes.
You have to fix it.
Yes.
That's the Mercedes. 'Cause
Exactly.
They're expensive as all get out.
Exactly.
You might as well buy a Dodge because sometimes they pair out. Between those two, you buy a Ford. It depends if you want to fix it.
That is positioning. You all have positioned in your mind. Mercedes is better, Ford is not. But if you actually look at the facts, remember I started out by saying people often buy things based on feelings, not logic. Why would I want to go out and buy that brand new E-Class Benz, the 18-inch rims, the leather seats? Oh my gosh, I want one. Bad, real bad. Why? Because the public perception is like, wow, you've made it. That is the car. You know what? I don't care what the public thinks. I want that car because of the way that it looks. I think that car is beautiful. Come on in.
You can see it.
It's how it makes me feel, right? But you know what? Ford may actually make the Taurus. I might want to buy a Taurus instead because it costs less to fix. It's not in the shop as much. But you know what? I don't care. I want an E-Class and I'm going to get one. In short, right? Positioning. So let's go back. So here's a little exercise. You don't do it now. And again, I will provide this presentation to everybody. But here's the exercise that you can do. List 3 ways that you stand out from your competition. If you cannot list 3 ways and be honest and objective with yourself, then you've got some things that you need to think about. It's okay if you can't list 3. If you can list 3 immediately, maybe list 6, but take a little bit closer look. Am I in completely new space? Am I really that innovative that maybe I don't even have any competition yet? I work with patents here at the university. There's a couple things coming out that are new, they're in a completely new industry. They redefine everything. Who are their competitors? They don't have any competitors. But how are they going to stand out from the competition? Just because we're not in the same space doesn't mean we don't have competitors. So what you want to do is you want to list how you're better, but you don't want to list the physical attributes. That's where it gets hard. We're not talking about I have a more powerful truck. I have a better hot wing sauce. What are the attributes about your product? What are 3 ways of perception? How are you better? Okay? That's the most important part. How does the public opinion, how is your perception going to be different? How are you going to get there? And I understand, EagleWorks, I know that, or marketing students, whoever, know that many of y'all don't even have business or you're still working on that. You're in a startup phase. But if you don't understand how your business is differentiated and how you're going to be perceived, then you got a lot of work to do. It's really important. So, list 3 ways that perception of your brand is better than all the rest. If you can't answer those 3, that is okay. That will tell you what you need to work on, okay? Again, this presentation is, yeah, go ahead.
So, what about like B2B marketing? Would you list more physical attributes then?
Because that's, remember, branding is not a product, right? Yes, it's important, absolutely. You know, being better than competition, being, more efficient, lighter weight, less cost. Yeah, that's hugely important. But we're talking about the brand, we're talking about the feeling, okay? And B2B is the exact same way. These are people, you've got a business, you're trying to sell to another business, you've got to work with a salesman, you've got to work with the purchasing department, whatever. How is it that you're going to convey that your brand is better, but not based on the physical attributes? Yes, absolutely, those are important, but there's a higher order to those things. Now I can give you a little bit of tip here. Cost is not always a good way to do that. When you're talking about the actual product, you never, ever, ever sell on price. But that's not the brand. Price is not the brand. You want to be able to list out 3 ways that your perception is better. Okay? All right, let's go to the next one. So how are we going to do this? How are we going to get there? All right, so you got to focus. You got to focus on you first. All right? So you must first understand your business and its values inside and out. If you don't understand them, how are you going to convey them to anybody else? There's no possible way that you can do that. So ask yourself, who are you? What do you do, right? So we talk about the products, right? But what are we as an organization as a whole? What is it that we do? What is our mission? What is our vision? How does this all add up to the entity, the feeling that we are conveying about our brand? And then the most important question of them all, actually this is the most important part of the entire presentation. Why does it matter? Why? Why does your product, why does your service matter? Can you answer that? Anybody want to talk about their EagleWorks product? Anybody? Getting a little too close?
I mean, we have a product, but we're not doing EagleWorks.
Okay, well, very good. All right, so why does it matter?
So we made a radiation shielding sterile drape to protect patients in radiology procedures. So I guess that would be the reason, because there's no real protection for patients right now, currently.
Right.
And so you want to keep them from getting up to their radiation level
Right.
max for the year.
Right.
And it can decrease the chances of getting cancer.
Good call.
So,
All product attributes.
okay.
Why does it matter? Why does your brand matter? Yes, that's how you're going to convey it. Yes, the product attributes matter. But what is the feeling that's associated with that? When they know, what was the name of it? I forget.
Radiation shielding sterile drape didn't have it.
Okay, all right. So, but what does it really matter? All right, yeah, it's going to save lives. Yeah, it's going to keep people from having cancer. Yeah, it's going to keep all that. What was it? Splatter, something. Yeah, scatter radiation. Why does that really matter though? How's that going to make somebody feel about your product that they know, given that all those things are true? Why does it really matter? All right, they're harder questions to answer than once you really start thinking about it. You can articulate this. You can do it. Let's move on. All right, so you got to focus on your customers as well. Who are they? Who are your customers, right? We got to segment, we got to differentiate, right? What are their values? That's what really matters. What are your customers' values? And how are you going to align with them? What matters to them? Yeah, I would say that most people don't want to get cancer. That matters a lot, right? How can you communicate that your brand meets their expectations for value and priorities, right? So we talked about our attributes with the wings, right? You know they're good, but it's all about how they make you feel. You're going to go back to them. Trust, reliability plus delight, right? So how are you going to communicate that? Now, obviously, we convey that through marketing, but the brand itself is a higher order. So let's go to the next slide. So here's another example. Who has an iPod in this day and age? Does anybody have an iPod anymore? iPods, yeah, it's like, why would you have an iPod? I already got the phone in my pocket. I don't need a second thing, right? Maybe you want to get like a Nano or something like that. Maybe you can run with it or whatever. But the Apple iPod changed the game. And how did they do that? So here's an example of what we just talked about with Apple. So they said, all right, well, who are our customers? Very simple to articulate. People who love music. You should be able to articulate who your customers are in a sentence or two. If it's a whole paragraph, maybe you need to take me back to the drawing board and figure out really, what is it, who are the people that I serve, and what do they want? People who love music. What are their customers' values? Instant gratification and to enjoy endless music regardless of location. Again, you can get the song whenever you want it, and you can enjoy it anywhere you want it. Before 2001, that didn't happen. Do you all ever remember a time? How old were you all in 2001? Let's just leave. Y'all don't remember a time that you couldn't have that. When this came out, it revolutionized everything. How do they communicate that? How do you educate a completely new market? How do you do this, right? How do you get people to trust what you're actually saying? Go to the next slide. That was all they had to do. Say hello to iPod, 1,000 songs in your pocket. Done. Mic drop. That's all they had to do. Here's the thing. This was made 2001, so that would be, what, 14, 15 years ago? Tell me that doesn't look like an Apple ad. Have they changed? Does that look like an Apple ad? It's kind of got the nice, kind of white, crisp background, kind of funky saying or whatever. And their product, even, I mean, look how old school that is. They got the click wheel. There's no touchscreen. The touchscreen didn't exist then. It's the click wheel iPod. You know what? It looks like an iPod, doesn't it? Let's go to the next slide. So, customers. You got to focus on them. Who are these people? Y'all probably didn't watch Seinfeld. I'm finding out from all my presentations, nobody watched Seinfeld. Thank you. Thank you. And bless you. So who are these people? Right? Seinfeld, you don't know if you ever say, he always say, well, who are these people? I can't do the impression, but that's what he would do. So who are your customers, right? So we're talking about making feelings and aligning, attributes and all this stuff. If you don't know who you're selling to, what are you going to do? Some marketing students, where are you at? We know about target markets. Tell me about target market, Laura.
You want to make sure that you just select a small group of people and it's really specific.
That you're going to, you're not going to take the shotgun approach, right? You're going to find the people that want to buy your product or their values and whatever are aligned, that they want to consume your product, okay? You got to target them, right? Tell me about it. To expand on that. Anything else to be said?
No.
All right, so you got to be honest with yourself, okay? So we can think all day long, yeah, I would love to sell it to this group of people, but can you, okay? Now, you have to honestly isolate your customers, target them. Who can you honestly best serve and who not? Almost more important, who can I not serve? We cannot sell our product or service to everybody. It's just not going to happen. It's against marketing 101. You learn that pretty much the first day. You got to target. What is your capacity? And you have to be honest with that. What is the capacity at which you can produce your service or product? Eagle works. And judges are going to want to know that, all right? They're going to ask you about that most likely. What is your capacity? How are you, they're going to read your financial statement and they're going to say, well, this looks great, but you know what, in the real world, this would never happen. How are you going to possibly do this? So when we're talking about our customers, what you really need to do to target, if you don't know already, is you got to divide them by interest and needs, okay? And then you can convey and maintain your brand through the targeted channels. Focus upon who you can serve best. Don't worry about everybody. Not everybody's going to want your product. I don't want to buy Apple products. Apple is never going to convince me, yes, I'm saying never, to buy an Apple product. I've had them before. They failed me. Trust equals reliability plus delight. I didn't get it. I didn't go back. You're just not going to get everybody. Target the people that are going to buy your product. So, personal example, a one-man website company does not have enough capacity to build and maintain an enterprise-level content management system. One person can't do it. Web developers, where are you at? Anybody? You can't do it. You can't do it. You work with a web page every day. There's only so much that you can do in the day, right? And people come and knocking on your door and you make videos and crazy stuff. One man or woman, excuse me, we're all equal here. A one man or woman lawn mowing service can only mow so many acres per day. You are limited by the amount of light that you have and the amount of time that you can actually physically mow. If you add one more yard to it and you can't physically get to it, what is that going to do to your brand? It's going to start hurting it because you're going to now be known for the guy that doesn't show up. And I will tell you from personal experience, one-man website company can't do all the websites in the world, and one-man lawn mowing service can only mow so much. They both like to have killed me. It happens. Your brand will be tarnished. So think about what is your capacity. Be honest with yourself. Yeah, oh, you know what? If we just added 30 more whatever, we could make another $10,000. Yeah, but can you honestly do that? Judges are going to be looking for that. People works. All right, let's go. So, customers, what do they want? What are their values? You got to align with your values. So you need to excel at understanding what is important to your customers. You need to separate what is important to you versus what is important to my customers. Now, you all did the business model canvas. That's what that's all about, right? It's understanding, is there a market here? Are they going to buy what I have? Don't focus, what does Jeff always say? Don't focus on the problem, focus on the question. What can I do to align with my customers' values? Discover what motivates, excites, and drives them. Nike, Jordans, right? People that are interested in sports, people that are interested in basketball, people that want to jump higher.